time trials are over, and like we said, the street stocks will be coming out. Our street stocks presented by Advanced Auto Parts. Robert Danielson, the champion, and coming in second, Dwayne Toyin. I was talking to Robert's wife earlier tonight, and he may be getting out of the car driving business. They bought a new car. It'll be number 88 out here on the track tonight, so I think the 87 has been retired. Robert not going to be driving it. I think he said Brandon Spreen is going to be driving it. One of the Spreens is going to be in there. We'll see it when it pops up on the grid here. But Robert Danielson may be shifting into car ownership now. He got a track championship under his belt. Could have been like Tom Brady. He's going out on top, so to speak, where Brady is just kind of hanging on. So Robert Danielson and Bianca Danielson, that crew there helping out the 87 win that track championship just by a few points this year over Dwayne Toyin. But it'll be the 88 car tonight as the 87's been retired.
Yeah, and you talk about the points. There are only 19 points separated the top two there, and 21 points separated the top three. So you guys had a great points battle there at Cotton Bowl this season. Another great division getting ready to come on out here, Milton. And this one's going to be interesting for sure. We just saw a guy go to second quick, and he was in the last group. So now it's really not starting to matter what group you come on out there. You just got to go out there and set that fast lap, and he'll put you up there in the top.
A last group moving up to second.
And not to mention his third lap, too.
And minimal driving this year. Cody Leonard has not been out on the track this year very much. So his dad was telling me, it's like, we haven't raced as much as we have in the past, but we're out here right now.
Yep, so the street stock's going to make their way into the infield. They will make their way into the staging area in the infield. This also gives timing and scoring a little bit of time to get the lineups done. They don't normally qualify here at Cotton Bowl Speedway, so definitely getting the cars loaded in, giving timing and scoring time as well. Usually it's just a pill draw, and they line up their heat races based off pill draw and race. But Oktoberfest, we mentioned it, you got to be fast. You got to qualify and then run your heat race tonight, and the only feature tonight will be the Sport Compacts. Tonight, the last night, the Sport Compacts race at Cotton Bowl Speedway. Tomorrow, as Milton said, in the Day Motorsports pre-race show, they'll be replaced tomorrow. So the Sport Compacts, their final night tonight, the only feature tonight, and of course, they're presented by Design Welding.
Yeah, we're going to have a little twist in the show over the nights. We'll have the Sport Compact main event tonight. They won't be racing tomorrow, but the Texas Dirt Truck Series, who always put on a good show, that class is built up over the years where it only started with like 3 or 4 trucks, and you weren't sure, is it going to make it? Is it going to do it? And then next thing you know, they have a huge following of trucks that go to these tracks.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. It's always good to see a class succeed, of course, out here in Texas, and it's really, really neat. So, Milton, also one thing I want to point out, Oktoberfest is so challenging. We touched on it just a little bit on the Day Motorsports pre-race show on Race on Texas. It's just, tonight, it's kind of half a program of a night for these guys. You know what I mean? Like, it's still a full race program with all the cars, 124 cars. But these guys have to now qualify, run a heat race, and if you're in the stock car division or Southern Sport Mod division, you have to do a pit stop competition. In the Sport Compacts, they have to race a feature tonight. So if you're these divisions, you have to put a whole night together tonight and then tomorrow. Because tomorrow, you could possibly be in a B main and then the features tomorrow. So now it's a matter of not putting one whole night together, but putting a whole night within 2 nights, which makes it way more challenging.
And then also the drivers, Ruben, that don't drive a track this big, they've got to talk to people they know about gear ratios. What's that track like? Do you go high? Do you go low? Do you ride the middle? So these guys that are from out of town who don't really race here, that time trial, other than information from their friends, who may not always be totally outgoing with it. They don't want to give away the secrets.
Yeah,
but they're getting a feel for the track in the time trials. They'll get a better feel for it in qualifying tonight. But then H may put a twist on it tomorrow. Will it be as wet? Will it be dry? Will
That's
it be
the thing I was going to
tacky?
talk
Will
about.
it be dusty?
Yes.
It's like you don't know. You could be a great setup for tonight's conditions and totally lost tomorrow night.
H to our left here has the keys to the water truck. Only he's the one that will know. You know what I mean? So
he waters when he wants to water.
Yes, exactly. So it's not just putting a whole night together within 2 nights, but it's putting a whole night together also with 2 different track conditions, or maybe same track conditions. And you brought up a good point earlier, Milton. We were in a commercial break during the pre-race show, and it's you know, these guys normally don't have the opportunity to change the setup, you know, from a night to night. So now they have an opportunity to go down there. Do they overthink? Do they not overthink? Do they do the right setup? And they have a night to sleep on what they're going to do for the feature event.
Well, you say they have a night to sleep on it, but actually they have a night to probably stay awake all night and try to figure out how to do this.
And mentally, that's going to affect you if you don't sleep well either going into tomorrow.
Yeah, they may not have a lot of sleep, or some of them will say, we'll just go with what we got.
And let's just say this. It's a 2-day show. There's a lot of campers down in the pit area. Some drivers might party tonight. You know, there might be some beverages, so to say, taking place down there.
Well, they do get thirsty,
oh, of course,
so
they
to
do. They got to stay hydrated, you know,
Yeah.
tonight. So, you know, a lot of these guys have to mentally prepare for tomorrow. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. These 2-night shows, always fun. And Oktoberfest is, you can already tell, the excitement is here. There's a lot of people up here. There's a lot of great fans in the stands. There's just that little spark of energy in the air that's going to make this weekend such a good one.
While these cars go around, we're going to have our Race on Texas director, Scott, throw up the email address right now. There it is. For those of you watching at home right now, it pops up on your screen in just a second. It's coming. There you go. So it's really easy. You can even remember it if you're sitting in the grandstands or you're sitting in Japan. Race location at yahoo.com. Let's load up my email, and let's start sending emails to where you're watching from, who's watching with you, and if you're cheering on somebody, we'll definitely be throwing that out throughout the night. So really easy for you in the grandstands. Race location at yahoo.com. We got the veteran emailers out there. Jared Moppin's grandmother, always sending emails. Always love to hear from her and the family down in the valley. We got the Steve Sims group that watches.
And you're talking about Steve Sims. He just sent me a message. Now that you made me look at my phone here. How about this? Steve Sims, heartbreak all ready to start Oktoberfest. He just told me they have a broken lifter in the engine. So they've already loaded up and left already to fix it tonight to race tomorrow. So tonight during the trophy presentation, he just wanted he sent me a thing to the people he wants to thank. So we'll do that later on tonight. But how about that? A rough start already for Steve Sims, second in points this year, already loaded up with a broken lifter and trying to get it fixed. We talked about the factory stocks. They're going to have a B main for sure, maybe 2 B mains. You know what I mean? We don't know. So Steve Sims, already done for the night. He's going to have to come from way back in a B main tomorrow.
You know, we talked about some of the veteran emailers that send them out. I just put race location at yahoo.com out there. Caitlin Leonard sent something 55 minutes ago. Remember we talked about Phil Whipple?
Yeah,
he sent
Phil Whipple.
something an hour ago. So some of these veteran folks, they know. So but let's get some new names on here.
Yes, let us know where you're watching from.
I'll start throwing these names out. Phil, certainly thank you, but we'll do the official shout-outs here in a little bit. Shannon Mowers out there. So I got more emails coming in. Keep sending them. Race location at yahoo.com. Where you're watching from could be the grandstands. Give me your section, section A, B, C, D, E, G, and we'll give you a shout-out. But the emails are starting to line up. Race location at yahoo.com. Send them in, and we'll start shouting you out in just a moment. Hello, Caitlin. I guess we shouldn't rub it in, Ruben, to Phil. He's probably got some miserable weather up there right now, and
yeah, I'm just gonna say it's nice 80 degrees down here.
Sorry, Phil.
Sorry, Phil.
Didn't mean to rub that in.
It's Texas, baby. Oh my! All right, well we get ready for the street stocks here, Milton. There's going to be 3 heat races tonight, 21 cars, so therefore 7 cars in each heat race later on tonight.
Yeah, we're going to start to see the times light up here on the screen. And there's the quick one right there, 18.533 by Will Arnold. James Honish moves to second, but gets bumped down to third by Trey Votaw. And now Brandon Hood moves up, drops Honish one more down. Brandon Spreen driving the 88 of Robert Danielson's car. And let's see here, Will Arnold, quickest right now, 18.504 on his second lap. Trey Votaw, 18.752. Nobody really changing right now. Brandon Spreen in the new Robert Danielson car at 19.756. And I really think as they built this from the ground up, this is just going to be shaking this car out to see what it can do. But right now, out of this group of cars, to be the 5th quickest, not too bad. Brandon Hood, he jumps up 18.085 on his second lap. He jumps up to the lead, bumps Will Arnold down 1, Votaw down to 3rd, Honish to 4th, and Spreen with the 5th fastest.
Yeah, so there you go. They set the bar early in this one. The first group, 18.085 time to beat. Brandon Hood at a 1B, as he just mentioned. And we still have a lot of big dogs to come on out here in this next group and the groups to come. And when you look at it, 3 heat races, man, oh man, you have got to be on it in qualifying.
Yeah, this is a savvy bunch of drivers out here and ready to go. And this is going to be great. I just can't wait to see what happens with the street stocks presented by Advanced Auto Parts and flying around the track and watch these laps click away. And, you know, they're right there with the Sport Modifieds, 18.074. And that fastest lap for the street stock was 18.085. So they're right there. That's amazing.
Yeah, first lap time's getting ready to come in for the second group in the street stock division. And Wade White 6th quick at a 19.824. Wade White 6th quick. Lincoln Morris crosses the line. He goes 9th quick. Charles Milvini goes 8th quick at a 21.457. And Ryan Hopkins going to go fastest out of this group. That puts him 4th quick overall at a 19.068. 7th quick for Chad White Milton.
Yeah, Brandon Hood still staying right up there in the top spot. Will Arnold, Trey Votaw, Hopkins, James Honish still locked into that 5th position. Checkered flag coming up. Anybody going to pop up? Yep. Ryan Hopkins moved up to 4th.
Yeah, on his second lap. He was the fastest out of this whole group here. Puts him 4th quick overall. So that puts him 2nd on the outside of the front row with heat race number 1 so far.
Yeah, that last lap for Wade White, he jumped up to 9th. Shane Lander just knocked him out of the way. Lander with a 21.282. Hopkins up to 4th, though. That was his best lap, 19.068.
On his second of the 3 laps. Pretty good lap for Ryan Hopkins. So we will see the next 5 cars roll into the Speedway. Brandon Hood, though, still laid a fast one, an 18.085, almost a 17-second lap time to kick off qualifying here. The competition would have really been in trouble because there's a 5/10 difference between the top spot and the second spot.
Yeah, and every millisecond, every spot, you know, really going to be determined out here. And, you know, they're pushing it to the metal. They don't have a lot of cars in front of them. They're good spaced out, so they're all getting a good run, unlike in their racing conditions where they're all bunched up. So still plenty of time. We got this group and one more group. See if anybody can jump up into that top 5, knock anybody out of the way. If somebody can do it, could be the 3D of Darrell Rhodes.
I remember seeing Darrell Rhodes earlier this season. Darrell Rhodes is a tough competitor, and he's fast, definitely. But the thing is, he didn't really spread himself out, Milton.
Yeah,
these guys are told.
He got right in behind him. Now, does that
affect him?
Now think about on the highway. You like to get in behind the
Yeah.
18-wheeler to draft. Is he drafting, or is this a mistake?
I mean,
you know?
I look at this first lap, 7th quick for Darrell Rhodes, and he's the fastest out of all 3 cars on the Speedway, 19.348 out of all 5 cars.
And now he's trying to pass. This is a time trial.
Yeah.
It's not qualifying.
I'm sorry, but he improved 5th quick for Darrell Rhodes, 19.127. But I feel like he could do much better if he wasn't behind some cars here. He should have spread himself out just a little better, and he would have probably had a chance for the top spot. But he still has his final lap.
Darrell Rhodes would have had a good run at the championship this year. Anybody move up right there? Nope.
Nope, stays 5th quick on his second lap, 19.127.
Darrell Rhodes would have had a really good shot at the points championship this year, if not second place. But during one of our races, he got a rock into the radiator, knocked him out for 2 complete races, and he was constantly in the top 3
had the
every
most wins
Saturday
this season.
night. Yeah,
4 wins.
And if he could have got 1 or 2 more wins, good finishes, he could have been up there. But those 2 late season misses just really affected him.
Yeah, that really did. That's unfortunate to hear something like that happen, but glad to hear Darrell was okay and he's back out here racing. But yeah, 4 wins on the season, the most wins by any street stock driver, presented by Advanced Auto Parts here this season in the 2022 season at Cotton Bowl Speedway. But Brandon Hood, Milton, no one has touched this top spot. He's separated himself by 5/10 at an 18.085. Does anyone top that here in qualifying?
Yeah, let's find out. Another good group of cars out here. This is the last group. We'll watch and see if anything shuffles. Predominantly over the past couple of groups, nobody's really cracked into the top 7.
Other than Daryl Rhodes,
Yeah.
just 5th. But other than that,
So
yeah, you're right. No.
We'll see what happens here as they start to make their way around. That's good to see Daryl up there in the top 5. G.W. Egbert, the 4th, just got 9th fastest. Dwayne Toyin, 2nd in points, 13th fastest. Chase Ellison just jumped up to 9th fastest, knocked Egbert backwards.
Yep, 9th, 10th, 13th, and 15th. Not bad for the final group.
Yeah, the track conditions are changing. Different cars, different driver experience. Egbert up to 10th now in the 717. Toyin in 13th quickest. Chase Ellison just jumped into the 9th position with a 19.530. Vickery in the 15th fastest. So not a lot of movement from this group into the top 7, let's say. Okay, checkered flag's out. Unless somebody got some Lightning McGreen material, that top 7 or 8 is going to stay the way they were.
I will say one thing that was impressive about these drivers on this final group, with the slowest point of the racetrack, they all improved either on their 2nd or 3rd lap, except, nope, they all did. Yep, they all improved on their 2nd or 3rd lap. Really cool to see on the final group out there. But it's going to be Brandon Hood fastest here in qualifying for the Street Stocks presented by Advance Auto Parts at an 18.085. Will Arnold 2nd at an 18.504, and Trey Voda 3rd quick. Those are going to be your pole sitters in the 3 heat races as he turned an 18.752, Milton.
Coming up next should be the IMCA Modifieds presented by Magnum Trailers. While we clear out these cars and get ready to bring the Modifieds out, let's throw out some shouts to the emails that are rolling in. Matter of fact, here's Irma Alvarez watching from Harlingen, Texas. Irma and Eddie Alvarez watching No Stoppin' Moppin'. Jared Moppin, drive hard out there. I was talking to Irma. I was talking to Jared earlier tonight and told him about a couple of weeks ago or a month ago where I thought he might be from Texas, Texas Longhorn fan, and I got corrected real quick. So he laughed about that. He loves that you guys send the emails up here. All right. Tommy Temple, send me a message, specifically who, please. I appreciate your shout-out on that. Trey Votal will start up on the pole. 777 James Honish, again, in another race car out here, ready to go.
Row 2 to the inside, the number 39 of Chase Allison, and the number 468 of Ryan Hopkins.
The 05X of Russell Vickery, 73 Lincoln Morris, rounds out the outside of row 3.
And, yes, row number 4 to the inside, the 00, Colton.
I'm going Abshire.
Yeah,
that's what I've said all year, and that's what I'm going with.
Yep, and the number 4T of Mike Trigg in the 4T. So that's your starting lineup. Final heat race of the night for the Street Stocks presented by Advance Auto Parts. And then after this, 2 heat races for the IMCA Modifieds. Those are going to be fun. And Milton, what I've been itching for all night, and I'm sure you have too, 6 heat races for the factory stocks. Going to be fun, but looks like only 4 make the call in this 3rd and final heat.
Yeah, Mike Trigg is not out there. I was really excited to see the 4T out there. A great race car driver a few years ago back at I-37 Speedway in the South Texas Street Stock Shootout, and he's taking some time off. I haven't seen him for a while, but I hate to see it when you're on the starting grid and you're not on the track. But we got 4 cars out there battling for the spots. They're coming around the first time. Got that good-looking red, white, and blue patriotic car running in 3rd. Here they come, first time by. And who we got there? 777 James Honish with the lead.
Yeah, James Honish looking good down the back straightaway as Trey Voda hanging out of that 2nd spot. Let's see if he has anything for race leader James Honish. Ryan Hopkins still in that 3rd spot. Another car with lights. How about that? 2 cars with lights here tonight at Cotton Bowl Speedway.
Keep an eye on that left front tire of Honish when he comes around turn 4. Equally on turn 2, but when he comes around turn 4, that left front tire gets up in the air. And that always cracks me up when you're seeing cars race on only 3 tires. Here he comes up into turn 4, gets that wheel up in the air. There it goes.
Tires are expensive. You gotta conserve them here.
What if you try that on I-35 when you get up on 3 tires when you're making a pass?
Can you even go that fast with all the traffic on I-35?
That's
my
true.
God.
There's certain parts.
Oh, Honish up the racetrack. How about the battle for the lead now? He got out of his groove and somehow manages to keep the lead. You can't do that on 35 either.
No, you can't do that. There's no passing on 35. There's no throwing your tire up in the air, and sometimes you think you've blown an engine. You're going so slow on 35.
Yes.
Honish running great out there on the track, and no real threat right now as they're kind of settling into that 4-car groove, single file all the way around. Nobody's really making an advance on anybody else, and this could be how they finish. We'll check it out as the laps click away.
Yeah, this time 4 laps to go in heat race number 3 for the Street Stocks, presented by Advanced Auto Parts. And right now, Honish still looking good up front, as he had that one hiccup in turn 4 where he slipped. The racetrack got out of his groove, but other than that, he's been smooth in the 777. Trey Voda still hanging out in second, and Chase Ellison in third, with Ryan Hopkins still in fourth. This time, Milton, 3 to go around Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, they're going around, and Honish, again, very familiar, drives a couple of cars out here and does a really good job, and he's got a good feel for the track, the corners, the straightaways. He's got that car dialed in. Not much Votal can do to catch up to him, as Nathan Lavender shows him. 2 single flags side by side, 2 more times around 3/8 mile oval here at Cotton Bowl Speedway. Again, pristine racing conditions. The American flag out there just barely moving. I wish I could get this weather on the golf course. It's just so beautiful out there. The temperature is comfortable. Everybody's comfortable in the grandstands. No jackets, no blankets. Great night of racing here. I love October in Texas. You can't go wrong.
And battle for the lead down the back straightaway. How about Dre Voda to the inside? They'll drag race down the backstretch into 3. Honish has a checkered flag in the air. Milton, who's going to win heat race number 3?
Oh, watch out. Votal gets loose. He may have raced it too hard. Watch out for the tire. He's going to come across second. Oh, he raced it hard. Votal coming across for second, taking a little shortcut there, but it wasn't going to impact the finishing status there. James Honish, right there at the end, had to race that race.
Well, it was 8 cars scheduled for this one. Only 4 showed up, but you know what? At the end of the day, you only need 2 cars to make a race, and it was a good one in heat race number 3.
That came down to a great finish, and Votal got a little loose, but it didn't cost him anything as he took a little shortcut, but he's okay as these cars will leave the track.